Test, test. Okay, so what do you guys think? How steep is the slope on the left compared to the slope on the right? Tell me. What do you mean steeper? It's more steep, yeah. And the one on the right is? Not as steep or less steep. So which one would be more fun? The left one? You imagine going down this, you'd be screaming for your life, right? This is kind of like marriage, or like getting married. This is like the, what do you call it? Getting engaged. No, getting engaged. You're going up the track like chunka, 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 chunka. It's scary, right? Yeah, and then the wedding's at the top, and then it's just like, ah. And it all goes downhill. Yeah, it all goes downhill from there, yeah. So, a measure of steepness, that is slope, okay? And for, in the math, it's like, say this was 5, and this was 3. Just make up random numbers. The bigger the number, the more steep it'll be, okay? So if it's like slope 1/2 versus slope 10, which one's steeper? Slope 10, okay? So the bigger the number, the more steep. Question, can you superimpose any right-angled triangles on the picture? Could we get a triangle in there with a right angle? What would it look like? Maybe from the top, draw straight down, then you have a right angle, and then straight across. And then what we could do here is we could approximate this distance with this hypotenuse. But more importantly, what we can get is a measure of the rise and the run. And that's all this is. It's a right angle triangle. Do you guys know what those are? Yes. So then you can do this unit for sure. So the rise, obviously up and down, and then the run is the left and the right. Does that make sense? So it's back, okay. So it's kind of like the hypotenuse. Kinda, and we'll get into that shortly. Yeah. So the side lengths, okay, are important, the rise and the run. These are what's important. And then we'll talk about the angle between them later in a bit. Okay, so and you don't have this, so on yours, you might want to just draw a picture. Okay, so I would draw a right angle triangle on this page. Draw the right angle in there. And then label the rise and label the run. Okay, so you guys got that in there? Got rise and you got run. Rise is the easy one to remember. It's the vertical, right? Up and down, rise. And then run is the left, right, the overness, how much over. Okay, so we have a slope formula at the top. Do you guys see it? Let me blow it up for you a bit there. See that formula? Okay, so when someone asks you what's the slope, all you have to do is the rise divided by the run. If someone asks you what slope is, what do you say? What do you say? It's rise divided by the run. It's a measure of how steep something is. It's a ratio, okay? The rise over the run, okay? It's just a ratio of steepness. Okay, and it's used in everyday life all the time. Roofs, going skiing, the road, okay, the curb, drainage, everything. Okay, so on your picture, you have a right angle triangle. Hopefully you have rise on the up, down, and run on the over, okay? Okay, so example 3 is asking us to calculate the slope of a line that has a rise of 12 and a run of 8. So always in your head, tell yourself this. Rise over run. Okay, so you can see in the example, what have they done? All they did was take the rise over the run. They told you the rise is 12, The run is 8. 12 divided by 8. So in your calculator, all you got to do is go 12 divided by 8. Okay? And you get an answer. It's 1.5. Or you use this fraction button and you can leave it in fraction form. The fraction button will like reduce it to lowest terms for you. So 12 over 8, use the fraction button and it'll become 3 over 2. This is the lowest terms. Okay, and 12 over 8 is easy because they both divide by 4. And you can see that the example did that. But, you know, if it's really ridiculous numbers and you're kind of lost and you're not sure, just use that ABC button. Okay? All right, so moving on to the next page. You need that? Sorry. How about now? You good? Okay, thanks. Okay, so this question 7. Can you guys practice writing the ratios and going to lowest terms? I'll do the second one for you, okay? I'll leave the first one. The second one, with a rise of 1.25 and a run of 5, depending on your calculator, when you go to put that in, like it might not like this decimal in the fraction button. So what you can do is slide the decimal. So if I slide the decimal twice, I have to slide the decimal twice on the bottom. Okay, so this is the same ratio. It's the same proportion. So it's 125 out of 500. Or it's 1.25 divided by 5, whatever you want. And you can express your answer as a decimal. You can express your answer as a fraction. And to be honest, I don't care what you do in that sense. As long as you got the rise over the run and you understand that it's a measure of steepness, then I'm happy. Like if you have the graphing calculator, let me test this out. 1.25 divided by 5, and then math fraction. How many of you guys got the graphing calculator? Okay. So watch me on the graphing calculator. 1.25 divided by 5. Just hit enter. It gives you an answer of 0.25, which we know is a quarter. How do we know it's a quarter if it's like a harder number? You hit the math button. Then the first option is fraction. You just hit enter, enter, and it'll translate it into a fraction. Okay? If you didn't know that already. So the slope of this question is 0.25 or 1/4. So you can put 1/4, you can put 0.25. I'll be happy with either. Okay, so let's work through and finish question 6. Or pardon me, question 7. Okay, let's take a look at D together. Why isn't my screen working? Okay, so taking a look at D here, you have a hill rise is 10 and a horizontal distance of 8. So, like, depending on how good of a reader you are, you might not be able to use this rise over run formula. So, horizontal, is that going to be the rise or the run? Horizontal means up, down, or left, right? Left, right. So that's the run. So it's definitely going to be 10 over 8. So the rise over run formula is 10 over 8. Yeah, one whole for sure. 8 goes into 10 one time, and then how much is left over? 2/8. 2/8 is 1/4, so it's 1 and 1/4. And that's probably what your calculator gave you. 1 1/4. Or it gave you the decimal 1.25. And then if you hit the second function button, ABC on your calculator, which is the DC button, it looks like an improper fraction, it will convert it to 5/4. Okay, so all of those are okay. Okay, it doesn't matter how you express your answer. Okay, so are we cool on this lesson? This lesson's question 7? I think so. Okay, moving on. Let's take a look at question 8. This time it's telling you that the slope is 3 out of 190. So they tell you the slope this time. And then the rise is given and the run is not. So this is a cross multiplication question. Okay, what you need to know, and you can jot this down, jot it down just right above. Okay, M equals rise over run. And if you've taken Science 10 or if you've taken 10C, you know this formula already. Okay, M is representing what? What is M? Slope. It can be what? How have we expressed our slope over the past few minutes? It can be a fraction, or it can be a decimal. Yeah, a decimal. Okay. So when you're setting up your cross multiplication, how many spots are there again? 4 spots. What if slope is a decimal? Like in question 9, how do I set that up? You know, M equals rise over run. Like, let's just do 9 first. If it rises 210, so what do I know that rises? 210. And then it says, what is the run? So I'll put an X there. And then it says the slope is 0.95, so I'll put that there. But there's supposed to be 4 spots. So what do I put in the denominator? If it's just a number, not a fraction. You put a what? What do you put underneath 0.95? If it's not there? No? A 1. Good, Mr. Jaden Nider. So then what do we put in the rise? 210. And what do we put in the run? X, because that's your unknown. So whoever just whispered X, good job. Now what do I times? 210 times 1, and then I divide out 0.95. Should my number get bigger or smaller when you divide by 0.95? What happened there? Did it get bigger? Yeah, that's what you should expect. In a fraction, like 210 divided by something is 0.95. So it should be just a little bit smaller than whatever it is. It's probably like 220 something. What is it? 221. And the decimals, if there's decimals, whatever. Okay, so let's take a look at 8. What do I put on the left side? 3 over 190. Very nice. And what do I put on the right side? Rise over run, 400 over x. What do I times? 190 times 400, dividing out 3, and we're good. So it's just, this is what you put in your calculator. 400 times 190 divided by 3. What does that spit out? 25 or something? Something large? 2533333 forever? 25333.3. and then put the repeater. So it's basically 25,333 meters and another third of a meter. So this question is on your test. It's probably on your quiz tomorrow too. This is a definite quiz question, test question. Okay, so make sure you know these. All you have to do is sub in the M, and then you either have to sub in rise or you sub in run and you solve for the other using cross multiplication. Okay, so this skill right here, highlight it, do something, put a tab on your page, fold the corner of the page, something. This is a quiz question. Okay, next. Question 10. I'll jot down the formula just for you one more time. M equals rise over run. Did they give M as a fraction or as a decimal in this case? What happens if it's a decimal? Put what underneath? Put 1 underneath. It's like a placeholder, and it helps you with your cross multiplication. We'll do that in the trig unit as well. Well, we put a 1 underneath, like sine, cos, or tan. It's just a placeholder. Put 1 underneath. Okay? Okay, so help me do the substitutions here. What goes on the left side, the M side? 0.54? And what goes underneath? Good. And then where do I put that 28? On the top or the bottom? Good. So then we solve for the rise. And you don't even have to put x if you don't want to. You just put rise. And then you're always on, you know what you're doing here. So what do I times? Do I times 1 by something? Good. 28 and then 0.54. Times those two. And then you have to divide by 1. Does that do anything? Well, you might just do it just in case because it's habit. But you end up getting 28 times 0.54, 15. Yeah, the rise is 15.12. See how I put a box around my answer? That just helps the marker. You know, say you write a test and it's all scribbly and hard to read and I can't find the answers. You think I want to mark that? No. You think I'm happy marking your test when it's like that? Don't you want your teacher to be happy when he's marking your test? Probably. If I'm in a good mood and I'm marking your test, you think I'll give you the benefit of the doubt sometime? Yeah. So put a box around your answers and show a little bit of work. Okay, you get a little break with multiple choice. You don't have to show your work. You can just calculator away. Sometimes you can guess, whatever. But if it's written response, you absolutely have to show your work. Because if you screw up, you get nothing. Okay, if you just put your answer, I go like this. But if you showed me the formula, got the wrong answer, maybe you get this. 1 out of 2 goes a long way than 0 out of 2. Okay. Okay, example 5, it looks like similar stuff. If you look in the book, they do cross multiplication kind of weird, so just ignore that. Like, whatever, the way that, like, they do cross multiplication in 2 steps. They're trying to show all this algebra. Like, we don't do it that way. We just show the Miss Pite's fish, or whatever, this thing that she invented. I don't know if she invented it, but she taught it to me. So that's what we use. And looks like we got only 3 more questions left, 11 to 13, and then it's homework time. So question 11, let's just do this together in the sense that let's read it together. Blah, 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 blah. Did that sentence even matter? This one here? No. He blah, 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 blah. He built a ramp. Okay. Ramps have slope. Rise 3.5. Run 6. What is slope? See how, like, this book, especially people who struggle with the English language, maybe coming from another country, this isn't even fair. You know, all his words. Like, what's a shipping company? Who cares? You know? So how do I calculate this slope? 3.5 divided by 6. So straight to the calculator like this, or slide the decimal and go 35 fraction 60 in the calculator. And you can get decimal answers, you can get fraction answers. The fraction answer is 7/12, and the decimal answer is 0.583 repeater. Okay? And I'll be happy with either one, whatever you're more comfortable with. Okay? Now you have question 12 and question 13, which are identical questions in the sense that you just use cross multiplication. Okay? So last reminder on how to do this. If it's a decimal, 0.89, what do I put underneath? 1. And then total rise, it says if the total rise is 203, so 203 is the rise, and what is the run? You don't know. So you cross multiply on that one. And if the slope is given as a fraction, then you just jot it in. So we're good. And then if it says if the maximum space available for the slide is a horizontal 1.5, well, how high? Okay, how high? It's your up, down. How high is up, down? Vertical. Okay, so that's your rise. Now, which two numbers do I times on the bottom one? 17 goes with 1.5, and then divide by 10, and then you draw that fish to help you. Boom, you got it. Okay, I'll quickly just jot these answers up. Looks like the first one is 228, and I'm going to round at 0.1, and then the bottom one looks like 2.55, whatever. Okay, so practice your skills. It's the next section. And then if you have your practice your skills all completed for tomorrow, then you can use it during your quiz, right? And likely the quizzes are just going to be these practice your skill questions. Maybe I'll just hand select a few, you know? So if it's done today and I help you today, tomorrow you could copy it. That could happen. Okay, it might not always happen, but it could. So let's definitely do every question in the practice your skills. So one, for sure I can go back, just give me 1 second. 1 to 9, so yeah. And you have till the rest of class, so that is 10 plus 10, 30. No, there's no working with partners in this class. All you do is put your headphones in and work alone, or you work quietly. That's your only option. So 1 to 9, enjoy. Math is the best. Block 4 is the best. And you want me to scroll up? Leave it here? Okay.